Welcome to Zora's Fountain. And I swear it's the last place it is Zora in the name. Consecutively. So, yeah, remember how that fish was crucial to saving the world, and so was that sign? Well, the sign thing was to do that, which is very important. The fish thing is also very important. We're gonna drop a fish right here. Yeah, it turns out I wasn't actually trying to be funny. You need a fish to save the world. Rip. Okay. Now that a small child has been eaten, we're in Jabu Jabu's belly. This is the third dungeon. It is also the last dungeon before the game actually properly starts, kind of, maybe. So, in the spirit of that, I'm pretty sure this loadout is all I'm gonna need ever. Cool. Oh, can I really not with... Cool. Thanks. Now, let's do that. Cool. So, we're gonna go through here. This room doesn't mean anything and will never matter ever. Definitely not. Definitely. Through here, however, there's a princess, probably. Yeah, there's a princess. Okay. You weren't here in the room originally when it loaded. Letter in a bottle? I didn't write any letter in a bottle. Anyway, don't walk into pitfalls. That's your lesson of the day. And we're gonna follow suit. So followed by more slow dialogue. And then we'll be able to actually progress in the video game a little bit. There are electrified jellyfish and there are holes. And there's a stone here. Oh, right, 2 slow dialogues. I forgot. Okay, cool. So we can pick up the princess and walk through doors. We can throw the princess, and that's pretty fun. We can get hit by stuff, and that's pretty neat too, I guess. I can walk into a bubble, and that's also really cool. Like that, for example. I was trying not to, but hey, the bubble bounced really weird. So we're gonna do this. There's a Skulltula up there. I may as well get it. It's a little slow and out of the way, but we're gonna get it anyway. I probably should have actually attacked it first, but that's fine. Because I have a plan. I have a plan, friends. This plan in... The plan has failed, so we're gonna use bullets. So I'm gonna have to hit this button a 3rd time. In retrospect, I could have bomb jumped up to this. That's fine. I was hoping I would just make that. Cool. So, and take some Deku Nuts. Not that I need them. We're gonna take our princess. Not that we need her either. In fact, here's what I think of this princess. Yeah. With a trick shot off the corner of the thing, too. I did not think that was gonna hit. Cool. Okay, cool. I didn't want that to miss a 3rd time. There's a Deku Scrub behind there. That matters in certain settings of the randomizer, but it doesn't for this one. Because also this isn't a randomizer. We hear bored princess noises? Thank you, Rudo. That is bored princess noises. Now we're on our way. So now we have the princess, and now we're back to where we started. So all that was just actually genuinely a detour. So we could go all the way around to take the princess specifically into this room. So So we go, I want to say we go right first to get our prize, and then we come back and do the rest. Hey, Link, I'm stopping the gameplay to do really slow text to tell you that this thing you're already actively doing is something you can do. Video games, not even once. Oh, you're not gonna, okay. You're probably meant to use the slingshot to kill them, but that's really slow. So I elected to do that instead. I don't have a lot of Deku Nuts, which is kind of concerning. I'll be able to get a lot more of those in the next dungeon though, so don't worry. But for now, we have the boomerang. The boomerang is actually really good. So now we don't need the slingshot. But we do need the princess, so off we go. And here we go. We're gonna run. We're gonna just like run with our princess. And we're gonna go here. Into this fun place. This isn't a switch we back off of. This time we actually have to abandon our princess here forever with the electric monsters. So don't worry about it. Just throw our boomerang a bunch. And then there we go. This one I think gives us our map. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is our map. The next one's going to be our compass. In terms of the randomizer, this dungeon kind of isn't all that exciting. You come here if you have Zelda's Lullaby and the boomerang, and if it's like a dungeon that you need more to progress. Like if it has a medallion instead of a stone. But if something... Wow, I'm stopping the gameplay to tell you that this thing you did a thing. You didn't know that because I said... I forgot how obnoxious this dungeon could be about it. So anyway, we only have 40 seconds to kill all these things. I don't know how we're gonna do it. That's our compass, I think. But essentially, there's no reason to ever come in here unless, like, you have the boomerang and need to clear the dungeon. Because there's only, like, 4 checks, including the boss, I think. I could be wrong about that, but there's, like, not a lot of checks. Anyway, here's our compass. And with that, we are done with this side of the first floor. Now let's go do the other side and like run around all these things that are like really obnoxious. But if they hit me, I'll drop the princess onto them. And yeah, it'll just be a good time. So now we have a blue thing. It's like the red thing except blue. And this one doesn't drop a chest. This one is just a thing. We have our map, compass, and boomerang. We have 3 of the 4 checks, and then it would just be finishing the dungeon. Which admittedly takes a little while in a rando setting, because you just go through the dungeon completely normally, more or less. There's like a setting in some versions of the rando to have like useful shortcuts or whatever. Those have like the end part like accessible from the beginning. So you just do these checks, and then you just like kind of run. Can I reach from here? Sure can. Cool. This is the exact same as the other 2, except this one had ads. The exact same as the other 2 otherwise. Now, Navi's hint I called condescending, but what those tentacles do is they lower otherwise inaccessible areas. They are effectively keys. like, you kill a thing and a door opens kind of puzzle, only a little bit more roundabout. It's kind of neat, I like it. The concept could probably be expanded upon in another setting or format. So now we just go down here. And now we can show off the demonstrating power of the boomerang. It can grab skulls. And there's probably other skulls in here I'm just actively not getting. I could be using the slingshot here, but I basically don't need it anymore. There's like a couple of places I'm gonna want the slingshot over the boomerang because it's faster. But for the most part, the boomerang by itself is just fine. And, yeah. So now we just take our bored princess into the next room. Yeah, there's other parts to this dungeon, but like none of them are checks. Anyway, really long dialogue for some reason. Oh, never mind. I was incorrect. Now it's really long dialogue. I thought these two were like linked. I forgot. The game let you hit a button in between these. Now, here's the thing about older games and long unskippable text and cutscenes and stuff. They had to start somewhere in learning how to make quality of life for people who replay the games or, like, got stuck on a boss and didn't want to watch a really long cutscene right before a really hard boss all the time. The most egregious example is Final Fantasy X, I feel like. Looking at a certain boss on a certain mountain. But, like, you know, games had to start somewhere. We had to have really bad, unskippable cutscenes before we had to skip scene button. Like, Nintendo back then, and to this day, actually, believe the games are ephemeral, should be played, like, once. Really? Here we go. And, like, because games are ephemeral and should only be played once, you don't get to skip story for any reason. And, like, then people were like, that sucks, actually. And then, you know, game companies were like, maybe we should actually add a skip scene button, I guess. I could have bottled that fairy. I don't need to, though. I still have, like, a full bottle of milk, which will serve me for a while. Now this particular room. I am not good at doing this room fast, so I like to come down here and kill the Octrock before it inevitably knocks me down a peg anyway. Drop hearts, that would be great. No, you dropped a magic though, that's useful. So any of these things are like kind of annoying. They just have to be like stunned with the boomerang. They're not killable because they're kind of platforms. A nice flick of the 45 degree we can, or 90 degree rather, we can progress. Now this, like the setting of shortcuts, whatever, this is to what I was referring. You can drop this from the get-go, clear the first floor, take board princess to do a thing over here, and then just finish the dungeons actually really quick. But, otherwise, yeah, you kind of have to go through all of that rigmarole. And there's, like, no reason to, because there's, like, no checks down there. The last check is the boss heart container, because those get randomized in a randomizer for people that didn't know. So, just gonna clear these two out, should be fine. And I am still refusing to swap to the slingshot. We're just gonna go up here, get our free gold skulltula. That might be 20, but the reward isn't worth it for 20. I'm going to largely ignore everything until I have just a flat 30. You're a little closer now, Mike. You're also a little closer now, Mike. This should be fine. So that's a neat little trick you can do to save a little bit of time. Side hop as the boomerang is going out. You have to know you're going to hit the thing. Because if you don't know you're going to hit the thing, you're probably going to fall off and it's going to miss and you have to climb back up and it's not fun. But if you get it, it saves a good bit of time of the climb down because it's happening during cutscene. Anyway, here's our third boss, Baronade. The game's going to tell you that in a minute, but I spoiled it. There you go, see? Very neat. Cool. So this guy just shoots a lot of electricity. And we just like run around in circles. Dang, I mistimed everything. So now it's gonna be super annoying and awkward to like get in close. I've like, there's like a really cool fast way to do this boss. You're meant to use the boomerang to beat all these guys or whatever. Listen again. Yeah, you're meant to use the boomerang to kill these things individually, but they die to a deck enough for some reason. Now we do the fun part. Intentionally get hit here to like skip some time with the firing and the ground thing. And if you roll, you don't even take damage. I didn't need to use sticks all 3 times. I could have done crouch stab, but I didn't really care to. So yeah, this boss is like fairly easy, straightforward. And honestly, this dungeon is a lot shorter than Dodongo's Cavern, if I'm being completely honest. It's just the cutscening before and after kind of make it a thing. So in the spirit of that, all those are going to be hard, so I don't really care. Anyway, we're leaving the dungeon in this flash of light now. Hi, Rudo, you're a little close. Anyway, we're in the water now, and I guess it doesn't really matter what time of day it is because it turns into day. This scene cannot happen at night, apparently. I didn't realize how many cutscenes changed the time of day in this video game. I want the stone. Give me the stone, that's all I'm here for. It's a quest. You don't really know what this scene is talking about, and commentating on it carries risk. So I'm not worried about it at this time. But we got the last stone. We can go to Zelda now and save the world and everything. Spiritual stone of water. You don't know what she's talking about because yeah, there's a lot of jokes I could make there, but I'm not going to. Anyway, we're just ignoring that. We're in the water again, as usual. So there's something else I actually want to do here. We're gonna take that and that, I think, for now. So we're gonna go over here. This is a thing I could have done before and chose not to. I could have absolutely handled this at any point. In case you have a skull in your face. Just in case. Hey, look, there's a wall here. Just kidding. This is our second Great Fairy experience. This is our second experience with the Great Fairy. So that's pretty cool. This one is going to give us our first spell. Technically, this isn't the first spell. The one I'm going to get later, right before I finish this video, is going to have been the first one. This is the second. But I'm here now, so I'm going to get this now. It's called Furore's Wind, and it's incredibly useful. Unironically, genuinely, especially in a rando, the way the rando handles being able to use this a lot more circumstance. You basically place it in a dungeon, or you use it in a dungeon, it places a thing. And then you can, like, warp back to it. Like, it places down a warp point, you use the spell again, you warp back to it, and then the thing disappears. It's useful in dungeons with a lot of backtracking. In fact, I probably could have used this in this dungeon, thinking on it, but, it didn't really matter in the end. It wouldn't have saved all that much time, considering I had to carry the princess around. Yeah, no, that actually would have helped there. But there's, like, a couple of dungeons where it would have helped significantly. Or where it can help significantly. Where there's, like, especially in a rando where, like, you double dip dungeons. You go into a dungeon for a few checks and come back out. But otherwise, yeah, it's actually pretty useful. It's not less so in vanilla, but you know, it has its uses. I really like it in rando, I guess. It's a nice little convenient in-dungeon warpy thing. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to the lake real quick. Now, while I'm here, I should have done this last time, or the time before, I actually don't know. But there's a guy here, and we're gonna talk to a guy, and we're gonna create a song out of the nothing. Cool. So in theory, I can just do this. Cool. That's gonna be important for later. Now, of note, and I might actually make use of this when I'm done at the river, but I might not. There is an owl over there. It's like the one on Death Mountain, where it'll be like, I'm gonna have really fast dialogue and then be a shadow that you can just like stand in and you will get carried to a place. It's a good travel back to Hyrule Castle. It drops you off right in front of the gate, and that's conveniently where we need to go. However, there's a couple of cool things I can do with this boomerang real quick first that I'm actually going to go ahead and do. Cool. We good? Yeah. Now, I don't know if there are any other heart pieces in the game that let you do this. But these two, for some reason, this one and the other one on the river, you can just pick up with the boomerang. It works in the rando as well, but typically, I never have the boomerang the first time I am able to access Zora's River. The first time I'm able to access Zora's River, I usually just have bombs. Or have warped in with the scale. Or it's like my starting location, something along those lines. I should be able to reach it from here. It might be a little tight, though. I should be able to reach it, though. There we go, done good. There we go. Now we have a full heart. We've done it. Hey look, cash. I don't necessarily need it, but I don't necessarily not need it either. Okay. So now we can just walk back to the castle. I could have gone back into the domain and taken the cool owl thing to get there. I could have also gotten those pieces of heart without the boomerang and actually probably saved some time, but now we know. Hey look, it's daytime, but it's acting like nighttime because the drawbridge is up. What is going on? Oh no, also it's like gray instead of day? What? Anyway, enjoy this cutscene from like the beginning of the game.